Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, man. So today we are reacting to the most genius FBI operation, my dog. Let's get into this. Play, nigga.
It's a quiet morning in an Australian suburb. The streets are still.
Why
The
is my
neighborhood
shit
sleeps
blinking
soundly.
like that, bro? Come on.
In a few seconds, the silence will come to an abrupt end.
Little
Armed
do y'all
officers
know.
will storm through family homes. Flashlights will cut through the darkness, illuminating the startled faces of criminals.
Hey, they about to have robots start doing FBI raids now, bro. I'm telling you.
Violently ripped from their
Telling
sleep.
you.
Scenes like these will happen all across the world. A global storm is coming down on organized crime. As the sun is rising from Asia to Europe and finally to the Americas, police in 16 countries will strike. They will raid drug labs, secret warehouses, and private residences. Around 9,000 police officers will make over 800 arrests. Nearly 40 tons of drugs, along with countless weapons and millions in cash and crypto, will be seized.
Operation Trojan Shield.
This first-of-a-kind global
It's been the
operation.
biggest investigation and operation
Biggest
that the
criminal
ANP
sting ever.
Entire organized crime rings will cease to exist from one minute to the next. It will be the final act of Operation Trojan Shield, the largest sting operation ever, orchestrated by the FBI and Europol. And at the heart of it all is this phone. This video is partially based on the book Dark Wire by Joseph Cox. Cox is an investigative
I was
journalist.
just about to ask,
He
is
went
this
deep into the criminal underworld
real?
for his research. Due to the nature of some anonymous sources, we are unable to verify all the information independently. We highly recommend checking out the book.
I have a cargo ship with captain on side too. They want to throw over load as
This
they
sound
leave.
like Call of Duty
When
intro.
can we start?
I have a job ready as tomorrow to pick up. It's already here.
This is a real conversation between two drug traffickers, sent via an encrypted phone. Encrypted phones are very special devices. They often lack functions like camera and GPS and are designed to enable more privacy. People use these phones when they don't want to be tracked. Politicians, military, corporations, a wide range of people use privacy-focused devices. The market for these phones is massive. For obvious reasons, they are also very appealing to criminals. Encrypted phones are often modified consumer phones with additional privacy tools. Sky ECC, EncroChat, and Phantom Secure, to name a few, were big players in the crime world. Secure phones like these don't come cheap. Phantom Secure, for example, charges up to $2,000 for a 6-month subscription. This is the price you pay for absolute privacy. Some of these phones come with a very handy feature.
So, he picked up the load, and I think he's been arrested and in need. There's a lot of evidence and f***ing shit on my BlackBerry. Yeah. I need that evidence gone.
Oh yeah, this
ASAP.
gotta be old as dirt. They don't even make
But the thing
Blackberries
is,
no more,
cops
do they?
can't access
Shit.
it, right?
They can't even access that anyway.
Unless y'all just got that
If the phone is
encrypted
ever
shit. Hell
compromised,
yeah, them
a remote
Blackberry.
wipe command known as kill switch can be activated. This kill switch wipes all the data from the phone, making it completely useless. For
How
law
we do that on
enforcement,
regular
this is a
phones?
nightmare.
Cause they like you
Even
delete
if
shit, you
police manage
still
to
got
seize one of these
it.
devices,
Somebody can
all potential
still
evidence can be destroyed remotely.
get that shit,
Over
bro.
the past
Like,
few years,
what?
law enforcement has aggressively cracked down on encrypted phone companies. One by one, companies like Phantom Secure and Sky ECC were shut down, leaving behind a massive vacuum. As in any industry, a vacuum presents an opportunity, and one man seeks to seize it. It is 2018. A rather dodgy businessman has an idea. He goes by the name Afgu. Afgu is an expert when it comes to encrypted phones, selling Phantom Secure devices to criminals. He's a
This
bit
is
of a geek,
amazing,
but not much of a coder.
animation.
Previously, Afgu worked alongside one of Australia's most notorious drug traffickers, Hakan Ayak. Known as the Facebook gangster for publicly documenting his criminal lifestyle online, Ayak is deeply connected in the underworld. Observing the gap left by all those encrypted phone companies going down, Afgu hatches a plan. He wants to launch the next big encrypted phone, ANØM. ANØM devices are essentially off-the-shelf Google Pixel phones, modified to run a custom operating system called Arcane OS. This is where it gets interesting. At first glance, it looks like any other phone. It has apps like Tinder, Netflix, and Spotify. But when you tap them, nothing happens.
Bro, get off
Just
Tinder if you're
dummies.
on Tinder, bro.
ANØM phones come
Ain't
with several
nobody
special
on there
features.
for your
One of them is
ass.
pin scrambling. It randomly shuffles the numbers on the keypad, making it difficult for anyone nearby to figure out your passcode. The real magic is unlocked when you enter a different pin. When you unlock the phone this way, you only see these 3 apps: settings, the clock, and a calculator. The calculator works just like a normal one, but if you enter a special code, the heart of the device reveals itself, the ANØM messenger.
Oh, shit.
It allows you to chat with an ANØM user anonymously. In case things go south, the phone also has a kill switch. ANØM will soon become a thriving tech startup for organized crime, and AFGU will become its CEO. But his true plan goes far beyond that. This story is about a brilliant sting operation, but it's also about privacy. How many input fields have you filled in your life? Remember the account from that sketchy online store you ordered from a decade ago, or that weird form about that thing you once cared about?
See, this why you're supposed to be smart and at least use Apple Pay. Click your phone twice. Your lock, boom, boom. Kick that bitch twice. Put your password in. I don't have Face ID on my phone because I just heard too many shits. You feel what I'm saying? I don't fuck with the Face ID no more. I type in my password every single time. That's just me. You feel me? But you just gotta be careful. Like, even if you using a card to order offline, nigga, get a Cash App card, get a Chime card. Like, get a card that's not like, you feel me? That's not your actual bank account. Like, do something on a card that's not your actual bank account, if that makes sense. Don't be out here just doing no dumbass shit, and now you getting wrapped up, setting a trap. That's what they say. Now you getting wrapped up, and now all your money gone. You feel me? So, just be smart, cause
Data brokers are
trust me,
companies that
I'm
collect your
pretty
private
sure it's somebody
information from
2-3
the farthest
steps
corners of
ahead,
the
bro.
internet and
No
sell
cap.
it off into the highest bidder. That way your data can easily end up in the hands of cyber criminals. Think identity theft, fraudulent
And
loans, and even maxed out
a
credit cards.
VPN, bro.
Incogni forces data
I don't know
brokers
why
to
this
delete
shit
your sensitive
twitching
information.
like that,
All you
bro.
need to do is sign up and let Incogni do the work. Their dashboard keeps you updated on which companies have removed your data. Keeping your subscription means that Incogni also
know why
makes
that
sure
shit
that data
twitching like
brokers
that, bro.
don't add your data back to their roster later. Scan this QR code or head to incogni.com/FernTV to get an exclusive 60% off your annual Incogni plan with the code FernTV.
Hold on, let me go out of this shit and go
I
back
get this
in.
call from this lawyer I've never heard of, and who basically said, I want to meet you tomorrow.
This is Andrew Young. He works for the Department of Justice in San Diego, California. Young and his team are meeting the mysterious attorney. His client, none other than AFGU. Turns out the lawyer reached out to broker a deal. AFGU is offering his product, ANØM, to the FBI. The offer, AFGU will build the next generation of privacy phones, and law enforcement will have total access, a hidden back door. The ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card for AFGU, in case he ever needed one. His personal intentions for that are not clear. Presumably, there's already a lot of dirt on
I
him.
feel like everybody
AFGU's
that
attorney
does
pitches the phone to
crimes,
the
organized
authorities like a
crimes, whatever
Silicon
the case
Valley
may
tech
be,
demo.
you
Andrew
get
Young and
caught,
his
bro.
team
It's probably
quickly realize
somebody out
this
there
could be a
right
once in a
now
lifetime opportunity. What
who's
could be
been
more
doing shit for
valuable than
30
having
plus
control
years,
over thousands
and they ain't
of
get
devices
caught
designed
yet.
for criminals?
But
Young and the FBI
you know,
agreed to work
I
with
feel like
AFGU.
everybody gets caught. Somebody in
But many
your
questions remain
circle
unanswered.
gets caught, bro.
How should the backdoor be implemented in ANØM? And how do you get criminals to start using the phones? And there is, of course, another major problem. Without evidence of a crime, spying on phones inside the U.S. is illegal. Young is concerned the operation
Type
might not get
shit,
approved
and you
by
can't
the
use it in
Department of
court. They used to
Justice.
do that shit back in the
So the
day.
FBI reaches out to Australian law enforcement instead,
You can't
and they
do
seem
that
to be
shit no
stoked
more,
by
though,
the idea.
which is crazy.
With the help from the Australian
Fuck is you
Federal
tapping
Police,
niggas' phones for,
AFP,
bro?
the first ANØM phones can hit the black market in Australia. The trap is set. Months go by as AFGU builds his company. The FBI remains hidden in the shadows. He hires coders from around the globe. They all work from home, completely unaware of their real employer. As CEO, AFGU collaborates closely with law enforcement. They soon manage to implement a backdoor that allows the Australian police to gather intelligence from ANØM phones. The FBI is still left out. The mechanism is straightforward. When a user sends a message to another user, That message is silently copied and redirected to a third location, controlled by the authorities. The users will not notice a thing. Now, ANØM just needs users. The strategy is to rely on word of mouth, just like
So
any
I'm
other
pretty
product
sure
in the
whoever's still
underworld.
using this service, they ain't
Prostitutes
using that
start
shit no
getting on
more.
ANØM
Cause as soon
phones
as they
from
put it out,
criminals
it's
for
cooked,
free.
bro.
They
It's
in turn tell
cooked.
others of the device, and so on and so forth. After a series of tests, the moment of truth arrives. An Australian AFP officer stares at his screen in anticipation. He can hardly believe his eyes when the first intercepted message appears. All the hard work has finally paid off.
Type shit. You gotta
I
add, bro.
dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce
Bro,
store.
get your creepy
Preloaded
ass.
with
I dare you.
It's 2019. ANØM has several hundred
Bro, I don't
users.
know why this
Demand
shit
is
be
skyrocketing,
tweaking.
and deliveries are spreading all over the country. Drug traffickers, Italian mobsters, and bike gangs, all of them are using ANØM to discuss business. Meanwhile, the AFP is meticulously monitoring every message, gaining invaluable insights into criminal operations. But the FBI is still not allowed to read the messages. Young needs approval from higher ranks. After a lot of meetings and persuasion, he finally gets what he wants. His approach is somewhat dubious, though. Running servers with intercepted messages on US soil is prohibited, and Australia is legally not allowed to share their intelligence. The FBI needs another country to host the operation and pass on the information to them. Young reaches out to members of the EU, searching for a willing partner to help. Finally, Lithuania volunteers to host the FBI servers. Let's put a pin into these legal shenanigans for a moment, though. For now, Operation Trojan Shield can finally kick into high gear. This is Swedish drug trafficker Maximilian Rivkin.
Damn.
His nickname is Microsoft.
So they got caught already, I'm
He
assuming.
has scars on his knees and fingers. His right arm shows a tattoo with 3 monkeys. Don't see, don't speak, don't listen. Microsoft runs a meth lab in Sweden
Hear no evil,
and is well
speak no
connected
evil,
in the
see
country's
no evil.
underbelly. He uses EncroChat to communicate with his accomplices. In the summer of 2020, Microsoft receives a weird message. In fact, every EncroChat user receives this message at that very moment. Law enforcement in Europe is cracking down on the encrypted phone company. Microsoft is screwed and urgently needs a new, safer way to conduct his business. So he travels to Istanbul. Here he meets Hakan Ayak, the infamous Facebook gangster. Ayak is working on expanding ANØM's reach
A
and sees
Facebook
enormous
gangster
potential
is
in the
crazy
company.
to...
The meeting leads to a new business partnership. Both men are convinced that ANØM is the future of encrypted communication for criminals. Together, they set a goal: push ANØM globally and become its biggest resellers. Back in Sweden, Microsoft wastes no time. He begins recruiting a network of people to help distribute ANØM phones across the country. With the downfall of EncroChat, ANØM grows at insane speeds. But users are skeptical. After the recent crackdown, everyone is extremely cautious. Trusting this new phone company is a huge risk. To build credibility, Microsoft tells others that ANØM's founder is on the run from the FBI. If even the FBI can't crack the platform, they all should be safe. In a fairly foolish display of trust, he even sends photos of his own Swedish ID card over ANØM to reassure his contacts. Meanwhile, law enforcement is watching the whole drama from a distance. FBI agents are analyzing all the messages, including those from Microsoft. Everything is unfolding just as planned. ANØM spreads autonomously and self-propelled within the criminal underworld. But one day, an officer reads a series of very concerning messages. Apparently, Microsoft is planning to murder a former cafe owner in Stockholm. Convinced that the man owes him $800,000, Microsoft hires a hitman. In a group chat, the hitman suggests disguise himself as a delivery driver,
Yeah, I ain't
approach
gonna
the
lie, you
target's
kinda
door,
deserve to
and take
be
him out on the
knocked off,
spot.
bro. You owe me 800
Microsoft
bands.
loves this. At this point, the Swedish police realize the threat is about to become real. The police has no choice but to warn the target. The assassination fails. ANØM is never mentioned as a source. It's 2021. ANØM has spread at a phenomenal rate. With around 12,000
They
users
still don't know the
and millions
police
of
on their
messages
ass.
sent in 45 different languages, the sheer volume of data has become overwhelming. FBI agents are sifting through countless messages from all over the world, ranging from drug deals and murder-for-hire schemes to money laundering operations, and even the occasional unsolicited pic. When lives are at risk, the police are forced to intervene. ANØM, however, can never be named as a source during fieldwork, or the entire operation would be exposed.
Yep.
The secrecy of the operation is paramount. With every new user, this problem multiplies. Eventually, the flood of intelligence becomes too much to process. At the same time, Lithuania's court order is coming to an end. And without Lithuania, where the ANØM servers are running, the FBI cannot spy on people anymore. After 4 years, Operation Trojan Shield needs to end. But when it does, it sends shockwaves through global organized crime.
Operation Trojan Shield.
Trojan Shield. Global operation.
Biggest investigation and operation
Biggest
of the
criminal sting ever.
ANØM
Freeze!
users
Get
all
on
around
the
world
ground!
are waking up to a nightmare. Heavily armed law enforcement enters their home, somehow fully and thoroughly aware of all their illegal dealings. Later that day, the FBI comes out publicly and reveals the secret behind ANØM.
For the first time, the FBI developed and operated its own hardened encrypted device company called ANØM.
Law enforcement agencies
ANØM.
across the globe celebrate their unprecedented victory.
This investigation, called Operation Trojan Shield, shined a light into the shadowy industry of hardened encrypted devices.
This is a watershed moment in Australian law enforcement history.
Operation Trojan Shield results in hundreds of arrests, the dismantling of major criminal networks, and the seizure of enormous quantities of drugs, weapons, and illicit funds. The evidence seized by the police is staggering. It feels like the ultimate triumph against organized crime. It certainly is the biggest sting operation in FBI history, probably in all of history.
That'd be my whole thing too. Like, okay, cool, you feel me? Basically going back to Snowfall, you know what I'm saying? If y'all ever seen the show Snowfall, or any type of show that deal with money laundering, drugs, whatever the case may be. It's so crazy to me because it's like, nigga, where's all this shit going? That's what I be trying to know. Okay, boom, y'all get it from the Colombian plug. He the one that got all this shit. Okay, he getting it from somebody else or somebody cooking it. Obviously, they got a whole thing. Somebody cooking it, somebody bagging it. Whoop, they got it. Whoop, they sending it out. Who the fuck is they sending it out to? The fuck, like, who's still standing on corners selling crack? Who's still standing on corners selling, like, dead ass who? Unless all this shit going to Figueroa Street, Skid Row in fucking LA, my nigga. Cause I'm in Arizona. The fuck? I'm asking for educational purposes. I'm not asking. I don't do crack. I don't condone those drugs. But dead ass though, like dead ass. Cause I'm just curious, like what the fuck? Niggas be really still. I'm pretty sure somebody's still doing this right now. And dead ass, it was the government though. We ain't gonna have that conversation right now, but the government was pumping product, guns, all that shit. Nigga, we black, we poor as fuck. Where's we getting money for guns and drugs? Y'all pumping this shit through, you know what I'm saying, through the hoods, through the ghettos. Come on now. Why? So we can stay down. So we don't get no type of motivation. So again, we stuck in poverty. We stuck in a cycle that we cannot escape from. We stuck in a fucking hamster wheel, bro. Come on now. Shit crazy, bro. I swear.
But as the dust settles, a harsh reality begins to emerge.
I don't know
This
why
mission,
this shit blinking
hailed
like
as a
this,
success, could potentially turn into a massive failure. To this day, over 27 million ANØM messages have been collected. Based on this intelligence, over 800 arrests have been made. But experts are growing increasingly skeptical about whether ANØM's chats will be admissible in court. That's because the evidence may have been obtained through potentially illegal means. A German court has already set a precedent, ruling that ANØM chats cannot be used as evidence in trials because they could not be physically linked to the suspects.
Type shit.
In the case of 3 drug traffickers arrested in Germany, the court only approved physical evidence for trial, dismissing the encrypted messages gathered from ANØM. In Australia, legal uncertainty has already delayed a major trial, with the court grappling over whether the data collected through ANØM's backdoor can be used to convict suspects. If courts worldwide continue to reject the ANØM chat evidence, hundreds of cases could be thrown into jeopardy. Criminals who are caught red-handed through these communications,
and that'd be the crazy part.
free,
What's the point of these
despite their
fucking
obvious
arrests and them
involvement in
going free
serious
if we can't
crimes.
use no evidence?
Other courts
We did this
declare
whole
ANØM's messages as
operation for
lawfully
nothing.
obtained.
Dead
Trials will
ass.
likely go through higher instances in many cases, dragging on for years. It's unclear how many ANØM users will ultimately be convicted.
Right.
While official press releases praise the number of murders supposedly prevented, there's a troubling silence regarding those that were not. According to Joseph Cox, at least one assassination of a Swedish man was meticulously planned in ANØM chats and executed while authorities observed in real time. As these cases become mired in legal limbo, an uncomfortable question arises. Was Operation Trojan Shield actually worth it? If key evidence is dismissed and trials are delayed or overturned, the operation's long-term impact may be far smaller than law enforcement had hoped. And there's another dilemma here, one that affects us all. It's about privacy. Today, almost every popular messenger is end-to-end encrypted. Preserving privacy is essential. It's a basic right. Encryption technology is not just for criminals. Journalists, human rights activists, and dissidents from authoritarian regimes rely on encrypted messaging.
Yeah.
Privacy concerns all of us. Data abuse can affect anybody. You might instinctively want to respond that you have nothing to hide. Even if that were true, what if you lived in a totalitarian state rather than a liberal democracy? Would that stance still hold?
Yeah, bro. I know America is not the best, in my opinion, but I'd rather be here than, not having control and, not having my own privacy and shit like that. I just can't. I just couldn't be able to live like that or operate like that. You know what I'm saying? In the U.S., I feel like we are very spoiled. We have a lot of freedom, but it is what it is. I just don't see the point. We had this whole drug bust sting operation, and it's like they do this shit, but certain things, bro, you can't even use it in court. You can't use it against somebody. It's like they can walk free. You have to have hard evidence. So at that point, you have to catch the nigga who's getting assassinated or who is assassinating him. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't just arrest a nigga just because his nickname is Microsoft. You know what I mean? But at least they got him in the limelight. You see, they showed that nigga Facebook. They showed the Microsoft dude. So I'm assuming, like, they could. But who knows, man. But if y'all enjoyed that, like, comment, and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. Catch me in my next video. Peace out.